Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we're playing with Memento Dewdrop ink pads, and we're going to make a poinsettia out of them, or we're going to attempt to. I don't know how it's going to turn out. We're just going to see. I thought this was my original idea. I was really excited about it. I did a little search online and found, nope, there's another lady that's done this before, and I'll link her stuff below too, because she's got some pictures that can probably help you with some other ideas. So I'm going to take this little dewdrop pad, and I'm going to pretend like it's a stamp, and I'm going to stamp my petal onto some white cardstock. Check that out. I want to show you, the longer you hold it, the redder or the more rich your color will be. The faster you lift, the lighter your color will be. And it won't matter if you don't have them all the same because they're flowers, so they can have kind of variegated petals. The trick is just to tap it straight down and lift it up. Now I think I did 6 or 7 petals, and I think that'll be enough for the poinsettia I'm making. This color's bamboo leaves, and this one, by the way, is ladybug. And I'm going to make a leaf as well. I think about 3 leaves. I think I like odd numbers, so 3 leaves and some petals. Then we need to cut these guys out. Now a tip, if you have a Brother ScanNCut and you want to cut these, this edge is very random because of the way the ink lands. If you scan this in your ScanNCut, it's so sensitive that it's going to notice that, and you may not get perfectly shaped petals. If you want more perfectly shaped petals or more similar shaped petals in your ScanNCut, you're going to need to use heavier ink so that you get a nice solid edge. Just a tip. I did not cut mine with the ScanNCut because I had stamped them kind of light, so I'll show you. You just cut these guys out. I've already done some to save time because it is a little bit of fussy cutting, and here we go. So I've got red petals, green leaves, and there we go. Now we're going to put this guy together. I'm going to use a 1 3/4 inch circle punch and punch a circle out. That'll be kind of the base for my flower. And I'm going to just work this guy around. And I'm going to do a little dry run first. I want my petals to kind of lay on top of each other, and I want some dimension. So I'm going to show you what my plan is, and we'll see how it turns out. I really don't know how it's going to turn out. I just thought I want to try this, and I'm going to go to camera while we do it. Look how cool that looks. That really looks poinsettia-y to me. And I can add this petal as well. I have plenty of room. Now I'm going to use foam squares. I don't intend to put this on a card. I'm going to use this on a gift tag so it can be as thick as I want it to be. So on the back of all of these petals, I should have flipped them over when I had the chance, I'm going to put a foam dot on the back of every one. And I think I'm going to put it kind of low and to one side. I might even end up doing 2 squares, but I think I'm going to start with just 1 for each one. So I went ahead and turned all these petals facing in the same direction so you can see where I ended up putting the little foam square. I'm just going to take one and take that adhesive backer off the back and pick this guy up and just start him on my circle. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of them and just overlap them as we go. Now before I go too far, I see a spot where I'd like to add some glue, and that's on this side of the petal. So I'm just going to go under here and in hindsight add a little glue, and then as I put the other petals down, I'll add glue as I go. I think that'll help it to get that little lift on the petal that I'm looking for. So in other words, I'll peel this backer off, add a little glue here, and then put that petal in place. The cool thing about this too is if you get going and you get to the end and you don't have enough petals, it's okay. You can just make yourself a few more petals because you're just creating these yourself with some cardstock anyway. You won't run out of them. You can make as many as you need. Okay, 1 more to go. So I'm just going to add the glue to this side and put this guy into place. Now, this looks pretty cool to me, and you could double these petals. You could do another row behind it and have a really big full flower if you like. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use these leaves in the background to kind of fill in where I think it's a little bit gappy, but that's good because we need the leaves to give it the green in the background anyway. So I'm going to use 3 leaves. I'm going to start with 1 here, just a little glue on the back. This is just a quick, easy way to make a flower. Then these 2 leaves, I'm going to put them together something like this and then glue them on. So put a little glue to one edge, stick these guys together like so, and then I think I'm going to put them opposite of that leaf. I really like them in that area. Oh, I like them there. So just play till you see where you want them, and that's where I'm going to put them, right here. Now I ended up fidgeting and moving it around a little bit to get it where I wanted it because that's how I wanted it to look. So I think that's cool, but now we got to address the elephant in the room, which is the centerpiece. Now what I think would be stunning here, if you're a glitter user, a loose glitter user, I think this would be stunning if you did a pool of glue and then glittered it with some chunky gold glitter. I think that would be gorgeous, but I'm not a glitter user, but I am a big fan of pearls. And I thought, how pretty would it be just to pile up a bunch of pearls in this center, touching each other, and make the center of our flower a pearl cluster. I think that'd be pretty. And just look how pretty that is. I love this flower. You know I'm not through. I got to add a little more to it. So I'm going to go to my gold pen. I just think this will be beautiful to add a little bit of gold to the flower. And I think what I'm going to do is just kind of go around the edge and not really stitch it. Just kind of rub some gold lines in here and there. Just around the edge, kind of rough. So just kind of scribbling around the edge with the gold. Not perfect either. I'm going to skip some spaces and get some spaces. So just kind of play around with that and make that look a little rugged. Then I'm going to do the same on the leaves, but I'm actually going to give the leaves a little veining with the gold. I think that'll be pretty. Bring that up for you to see. It might be hard to see the gold on camera, but it is there. Now this guy's ready to go into a Christmas tag. Let's make the tag. For my tag, I've cut some craft cardstock 3 inches by 5.5, and I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers angle punch. This is the new thing in the store. We just got this, and this is the one that's got the 1/2 inch angle and the 1/4 inch angle. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch angle at the top to give our tag its tag shape. Just like that. By the way, I'll be linking all supplies in the description below. I promised you guys I'm going to do my best to always do that. And then this little gold foil piece, which came from this set. This is so cute. It's a 6x6 pad I picked up at Michael's last year. It's by Craftsmith, and I bought it like 90% off at the end of the year. And I cut this 1/4 inch smaller all the way around, and I'm going to do the same angle punch on it that I did on the tag using this little guy. Now remember, because I told you I'm making a tag, I can use all the dimension that I want because this is not going to go into the mail. So I'm even going to pop up this gold layer on the tag using some more foam dots. So I've got all that adhesive exposed, and now I'm just going to stick this guy down on top of our tag piece. And now I'm going to poke a hole in the top. And I went ahead and did that so my hole would go through both pieces in the right place, but you can always poke the hole before you stick that guy down. It really doesn't matter because it'll go through both just like that. And we're ready to put our other goodies on. So this flower, I'm going to take and just with my hand, just kind of curl these edges up a little bit to give it a little more dimension. Just think that's pretty on this tag. And it's going to live down here in the bottom corner just like this. I'm just going to glue it straight down. No need for foam or anything here. I'm going to sit it down here just like this, kind of off and on the tag. I think that's pretty. Now for my sentiment, I'm using a piece of that gold foil paper, but I've flipped it over. It's just a scrap from where I cut away to make the tag. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to waste it. I'm just going to use that little strip. And I'm going to put the words, "Don't open till December 25th." on the tag. And I actually have this stamp in my Christmas stitched shape set. That's where that one comes from. I think that is cute. Now I'm going to put my sentiment down. I did fishtail. I trim it with the little fishtail edge there. I'm using a little bit of foam square to lift that up as well. My ink is not quite dry, so I'm being real careful so I don't smear it. I did smear it a tiny bit, but I'm not going to stress about it. Okay, so there is the front of our tag. I think that is beautiful. We need to put some ribbon through the top. I have this gold ribbon. I think I picked this up at Walmart, and I love how it looks. It's kind of this muted gold, and I'm going to run that through the top here. Now, remember, like I've told you before, when you're making tags this early, way before the season when you really need them, you want to make sure you leave yourself plenty of ribbon to tie onto a gift, because you never know what gift packaging you might use this guy on. So you want to make sure that you have plenty up there. Like if you're tying it on a bag, you don't need as much, but if you were to put this on a gift, or on a gift box or a present like that, you might need some extra ribbon. Now I do this to myself all the time. I always forget to stamp the back of my tag with the to and from before I put it together. I don't know why, but I do. And you know what? When I do that, I just kind of force it to happen. So I'm going to stamp to and that worked okay. And this to and from is not from that same stitched set. This is from the original Stitch Shape set, and this one's a little fancier than the one that comes on that Christmas set. See, I made it work. Hindsight, right? Got to remember those things. So be sure to do yours first. But if you're looking for that kind of fancy font, it's on this guy, which is kind of hard to see, but he's the original Stitch Shape set. Woo, that one is so hard to say. So there you go, guys, using your Memento ink pads to make a flower. And imagine how many flowers you could make. That would be amazing. You could do sunflowers, you could do daisies, and if you flip this petal around, you get a round-edged flower, which could be anything. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this idea. Be sure when you make a project, you share it with us over on our Facebook group, which is called Maymay Made It, and so did I. And also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and over on Twitter and on Snapchat and all the other places. All my social media links are below. We got a lot of stuff coming up for the holidays on the social media site. So be sure to be following us so you can be involved. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.